What's cracking? I'm Nick Danger, and you're now tuned into the art of MV. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for watching my video. Hit that thumbs up on the way in, share the channel, subscribe, and let's get to it, y'all. In today's installment, we'll be talking on a subject that I've kind of been poring over for quite a bit now. So usually when I'm talking MV sequencers, I'm usually speaking from the perspective of the 8000, 8800. But now that I have worked the Verselab more into my normal console and I'm using it with the other gear, contrary to popular belief, Roland did listen to the user base concerning some main sticking points about the MV. Let me explain. When anybody who knows or has visited or has perused the forums, the MV forums, MV Nation, MPC forums where the MV comes up in discussion, knows that two things are going to come up about the MV just like clockwork, and that is the speed and the learning curve. People think that it's really slow and the learning curve is really steep. And there's some truth to that. It's not entirely true, but there is some truth to it. It's true that it's 20 years old, so yes, it's a little slow. And even when it was made, it does a lot. So maybe they did sacrifice some processing power to add in more features, right? The learning curve was a bit steep, especially after all of the updates. You got to remember, this thing got a ton of updates from the 2003 edition MV-8000 until when they released 8800, which when they released the 8800, the 8000 got all the applicable updates. This one is running 3.5.1, which basically makes it an MV-8800, right? Now that I've been using the Verselab, I've noticed that, well, this is the exact opposite, right? And before I show you an example of that, I got an example to show you. I'm kind of excited about it because it proved a theory that they actually had. So right now I have a page pulled up on the Roland page, and it's about the MV-1 Verselab, and it's the article written on an interview with the developers. And I'm going to read a couple of things that they said in the article that pertains to this directly, right? I'm also later on, or in a second part of this video, going to react to a video that is, well, a little bit later. We're going to get a reaction off that, but let's get into the first part of the video, which is the sequencer between MV to MV, MV-8000 to Verselab MV-1. Let's get it. So right here, it says basically, it seems useful to be able to change templates later. This is talking about song mode, right? The guy says, we learned from interviews that artists don't have much time to spend on a single song. They need to finish a ton of songs in a week. As a result, both song quality and creative speed are very important. The Verselab incorporates a lot of functions to improve the speed of song creation. Of these, the most useful is song mode, which is in the workflow area. So right there, he says that they intentionally focused on the simplicity and the speed of making music on here, right? So I'm gonna go up further in the article. Okay, on this it says wherever, whoever, and on whatever, right? So the question to the developer was, what are some of the advantages of Zenbeats compared to other DAWs, which is the companion app the editor that is placed that you can get with the Verselab, right? And they say they don't consider Zenbeats a DAW. It's simply they say think of it as simply a music creation and appreciation tool. Zenbeats aims to be software to make cool music easily and simple for for anyone or whoever wants to use it, right? So once again, stressing the simplicity, he goes further on to say, I am also involved in the education market. Most U.S. educators want to help children experience the joy of music. To that end, they want to teach using modern music productions more than traditional approaches like playing piano. However, there are only so many Chromebooks and iPads at the school, so they can't use computers for education everywhere, but you can use Zenbeats on a Chromebook or without it, or on a Chromebook without problems, And the user interface is accessible even on Android. Overall, it's the best solution for use in schools. Okay, stop right there. Basically, he says that intentionally, they designed it to be a tool for beginners, right? To teach. I tested this theory out, right? I have an 11-year-old nephew, and he sees me mess around with this colorful box here, and he says, hey, I want to do it. So I teach him 3 basic things: how to stop and start, how to select patches or sounds from track to track, and I show him the TR style strip down here and show him how to sequence beats using the TR style sequencer. He sat down with this thing probably maybe 3 or 4 times, because I like to take it on vacation with this sometime, and he'll be around, he'll get bored, and I'll put him in the room and he'll mess with it. The last time, and mind you, this is a child that doesn't really do music, at least from my knowledge. No musical knowledge, right? I showed him exactly what I just told you guys. I didn't show him how to make the measures. I showed him the three basics that I just mentioned. The last time I came back in the room, this is what he had going. Now, may not seem like a lot, right? But for some kid who doesn't know music, just to being creative and just playing on a box for the first or second or third time, to save something like this kind of proves the point of what I just read you, right? And yes, I saved it for him, because after he did that, he had a smile on his face, and he looked pretty accomplished. So I told him I'd save it, and I'd make a song out of it, and, leave it to Uncle. I'll move it over to the SP, and you know how that goes. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it from here, nephew. Right? And then we'll give it a little grit, a little SP grit, right? And just like that. So this proves exactly what they were just talking about. They made this thing to be easy, quick, and simple. And I think to that aim, they did exactly what it was. So if you ask me, this sequencer, if it's fulfilling or taking care of user issues or user complaints of the previous MV series or any Roland sequencer series for that matter, I think they did a good job. All right. What do you guys think?